episode of the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. Well, guys, man, it's becoming obvious around the Cleveland Browns organization how they really feel about Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders took the field today at practice, and you won't believe what a sideline reporter said. But we're going to unpack all this here on the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. Well, guys, man, I'm here to tell you, man, things are starting to rear its ugly head around this Cleveland Browns organization when it comes to dealing with Shedeur Sanders. Now, we all feel like Shedeur Sanders has been disrespected by the Cleveland Browns organization. Coming into training camp, Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, came out publicly and said that this is going to be an open quarterback competition, but you don't give the tools to guys to compete. So therefore, this wasn't an open competition to compete for QB1. We all know Joe Flacco was going to be the starter week one. We already knew that he was going to be named. A lot of people was trying to figure out who was going to be QB2. Now, you know, they had Kenny Pickett on their roster, but as the roster cut downs were being made, Kenny Pickett surprisingly got dealt to the Las Vegas Raiders. And I came and did a show, and I said I thought Kenny Pickett would be the odd man out. When they brought Tyler Huntley in, when Kenny Pickett couldn't, go in training camp, we didn't see no reps from him in the preseason. So we try to figure, how is Kenny Pickett, a guy that's been bounced around from Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, how is he going to be the backup to Joe Flacco? And we never seen him get on the field. And the eve of the 53-man roster cut, Kenny Pickett was dealt to the Raiders in a surprisingly move. But I called that one. Also, Huntley, they released Tyler Huntley. So that left you with Joe Flacco, Dillon Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. That everybody was talking about who's going to be QB2 now. After we saw the rookies play in preseason, first game, Shedeur shine. Dillon Gabriel's debut, he did some good things, but he threw the pick six and had a fumble. And I thought that Shedeur Sanders put out better tape than Dillon Gabriel, something you can go off of when you give Shedeur Sanders something to work with. And he boded well against the Carolina Panthers. Not so good against the Rams. Shedeur Sanders, 3 of 6, 14 yards passing, 5 sacks. Dillon Gabriel led the team down the field, had his first throwing touchdown, didn't turn the ball over. And, he looked pretty good. But Dillon Gabriel had pieces to work with. They put Shedeur Sanders on the field with 4 to 5 offensive linemen that got cut when they shaved the roster down to 53. So he had nothing to work with. And everybody said that you put Shedeur Sanders out there and you was trying to sabotage him. You was trying to set him up to fail. Now, we all know how this organization feels about him. We already heard what Kevin Stefanski said when Mary Kay Cabot, a sideline reporter, asked him the direct question about the narrative about Shedeur Sanders being sabotaged. I thought that, he shouldn't have answered the question. He should have said next question. But the way he answered the question with the little chuckle, talk about my best interest is all the quarterbacks here. And a lot of people thought that he was lying. We heard what RG3 said about the situation. I think he broke it down so eloquently, and I think he was spot on. In this situation, today, They was trying to see who was going to be QB2. So Dylan Gabriel was named QB2. Shedeur Sanders is QB3. So Kevin Stefanski had a press conference and they asked him, who's your second string quarterback? And he quickly answered Dylan Gabriel and he moved on. But today in practice, there's a clip of Shedeur Sanders, Joe Flacco, and Dylan Gabriel throwing the ball. And it has gone viral. And a lot of people are talking about that. And I'm going to show you the clip, but I'm going to show you how Brown sideline reporter Mary Kay Cabot blatantly disrespects and throws shade at Shedeur Sanders. But before we get off into that, we partnered up with Underdog Fantasy, and this is a word from our sponsor.
Underdog Fantasy is the best way to play fantasy sports. Let me tell you about the easiest way to get in on some WNBA and NBA action. Find your player, pick higher or lower, win you some extra cash. Pick between 2 to 5 players to fill out your pick'em entry, get every pick right, and win some serious cash. Use my promo code SBD23 and receive up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Now that it's football time, follow Simply Ball Dropping as I share my picks. Like I said, pick your player, choose your amount, win money, make picks, win cash. Thank you, Underdog Fantasy, for the partnership with us, and thank you for using promo code SBD23 on Underdog Fantasy.
Now, guys, with that being said, let's take a look at the clip that's going viral of Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, and Joe Flacco. Let's take a look. Now, guys, let's play that one more time for you so you see in context. Dylan Gabriel steps up. He throws the ball. He misses the target completely. Shedeur steps up, and he throws it right in the net. Now, Joe Flacco went before that, and he missed the thing entirely. Now let's take a look and see what Mary Kay Cabot said during this clip, because she's the one that posted the clip on her X account. So let's take a look at what she said. Mary Kay Cabot said, Browns quarterbacks throwing in the net with one nail in it. That's a direct shot and throwing shade blatantly at Shedeur Sanders. Knowing the fact that she knows who these quarterbacks are, why didn't she just come out and say, Shedeur Sanders nailed it? Why did she leave it open like that? Quarterbacks throwing into the net with one nail in it. Guys, put that in context. Why didn't she just put Shedeur Sanders' name in there? Shedeur Sanders was the only one that made it in the net. And that is the blatant disrespect that we're talking about, the way these people are handling Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland. Like, they will not give him no just dues. Shedeur Sanders is out there taking advantage of every opportunity that he's getting. And this organization fails to give him his just dues. We saw what happened in the preseason game against Carolina when Kevin Stefanski addressed it in the post-game press conference about Shedeur's performance. It was dry. He had nothing really good to say. Not even giving Shedeur his kudos for the things that he's doing when he's getting the opportunity to get on the football field. And this is just another example that shit's rolling downhill. It starts from the top and it's going all the way down to the sideline reporters. This is blatant disrespect towards Shedeur Sanders for not mentioning his name, that he was the one that nailed it in the net. That's the stuff that I'm talking about this organization, not giving Shedeur Sanders his proper just dues. And Shedeur Sanders is trying to take an advantage of every opportunity he gets so he will get on the football field. And the question people have been asking me, do I think Shedeur Sanders is going to get on the NFL football field this year? Absolutely. Absolutely. Shedeur Sanders will get his chance. But every opportunity that he gets and he shines, the Cleveland organization fails to give him his just dues. I don't care if it's practice, but that is where you start. It starts in practice and it carries over to the game day field. And for them to just hopscotch over what Shedeur did, that just goes to tell me that they not trying to give Shedeur Sanders any type of props. And they always want to undermine what he does just to justify them naming Dylan Gabriel quarterback 2. It's time for you guys to wake up, man, and take heed to what I'm saying, man, and just put this all together in totality. They don't want Shedeur to shine. Every time he shines, they cover it up. I see everybody in the comment section, #salute. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot, tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And I do want to appreciate all my new subscribers that is enjoying the content, man. I do appreciate you. Much love. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.